Hey guys, Asher here with a brand new recipe to add to, I had to think for a second there, a brand new recipe to add to your meal prep list, okay? So one of the things that I'm making this week is I like to call Beastly Meat and Tater Pie, and I call it that because I've changed some of the ingredients. Most people are like, meat and tater pie, what the heck is that? Alright, basically it's like my mom used to make this when I was growing up. Everybody likes what they grew up eating. They're like, that's what they're used to. That's what your taste buds have become accustomed to. Well, what I've done is I've taken a recipe that was served growing up and manipulated the ingredients to make it healthier so that it would fit into my meal plan and still keep within the nutrients and calories and macros that I'm searching for on a daily basis. So, generally, my mom, when I was growing up, she would make the meat and tater pies, basically a base of meatloaf, with the tomato ketchup glaze. You got your mashed potatoes that you put on top, and then a layer of cheese. Okay? Now, so what I'm doing... Oh, I'm sorry. There's a layer of cheese before the mashed potatoes, too. Anyway, my bad. So, I know it sounds amazing. I'm hungry. So, what I've done is I've changed and manipulated those ingredients, as I mentioned before. So, most people, when they make meatloaf, they make it with ground beef, which... Since I'm going for a really cutting down in my fat intake, I'm going to use a leaner protein, so I'm going to use turkey meat. Now, I've got 3 pounds of turkey meat here, and of course you add your regular ingredients that you normally would with a regular meatloaf. What I do is I use about a 1/4 cup of minced garlic, and then I've used, let me see, I think I've used about 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, about a 1/2 cup of ketchup. Make sure that you're using a good ketchup, one that's got low sugar, one that's got no high fructose corn syrup, and that's all natural. Heinz also makes an organic ketchup, which is also a good option, okay? Then I also add a little something for a little extra spice in there. This is just kind of something I like to throw on just about anything I eat. If you're one of those that likes hot sauce and you throw hot sauce on everything, this stuff is amazing. You got to try it. It's got very few calories, very, very low in sodium, and it's all natural ingredients. It's a Mexican hot sauce, Valentia. Okay, stuff's amazing. Love it, love it, love it. Alright, so then of course I'm going to throw in my eggs. I usually use about 4 eggs in this recipe. If you're using just egg whites, which would be ideal if you're someone who's struggling with diabetes, high cholesterol, or a heart disease, of any sort, whether you've had a heart attack or whether you had some stents, some blockages, anything of that nature, you want to make sure that you just stick to egg whites so you can make sure you keep your cholesterol down, because those things can raise up. But I am an overall general health, and so if you are, go ahead and feel free to use just regular eggs in this recipe. Okay, so you use 4 or 5 egg whites. Now, most people in a traditional meatloaf are going to use some sort of breading to absorb some of the juices from the meatloaf as it cooks in the oven. Now, I've got my oven preset to 350 degrees. And I know I keep looking at the screen and not the camera, and I'm sorry. You're going to see me do that all the time because I don't know. I would just do it. But what I choose to use instead is oatmeal, because not only is it going to give me a little bit extra protein, but it's a complex carb. It's easily digestible in your body, and it is excellent, excellent, excellent fiber. So that's what I throw into this mix. So with the portions and everything, with this particular recipe, I'm going to use about 2.5 cups of just raw, plain oatmeal. And I'm not talking about your little packets. I'm talking about raw oatmeal. And I'm going to show you. Hold on one second. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Look at that. It's right behind me. Okay, just your regular old-fashioned oats, okay? Mr. Quaker Man, Mr. Funny Hat. Every freaking person on the box has a funny hat on. All right, so now for the mashed potatoes. You don't want to use russet and you don't want to use Idaho potatoes, okay? Those are simple carbs. Believe it or not, they digest differently in your body than other potatoes. So red potatoes are an excellent option to use, as well as the Yukon Gold potatoes. Both of those are going to be more of a complex carb, more easily digestible, and are not going to give you that bloatiness that you sometimes feel after eating a baked potato from a restaurant, okay? When you feel really overly full, you shouldn't feel that way after you eat. Okay, it's either that you've eaten too much or you've eaten the wrong things. Okay, so I'm going to show you kind of what this kind of looks like at this point. Right now I have my pan already oiled, so I've put my mixture in here. This is going to be my half of Vidalia onion and half of a green pepper. I don't remember whether I told you I diced that or not, but I diced those up and threw that into the mix as well. So there you go, a little extra. But I diced that up and put that in here, and got it all mixed up, nice and patted down real good. See that you can see that there's the oatmeal in there, and this is gonna give me This is going to give me about 9 portions when I'm done, okay? Now, if we come over here, you can see I've got red potatoes in here cooking. All right, well, pretty much they're already cooked. I'm about to mash them up once I stop this video. I've got my oven preset to 350 degrees, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this bad boy in the oven. And he's going to cook for about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to check him to make sure that he's all the way cooked through. Apparently, my meatloaf is a he. And so here we go. Not that you can see me, but I'm popping that guy in there. Setting my kitchen timer. All right. 45 minutes. Okay, so we got that started. Now I'm going to go ahead and drain my potatoes, mash those up, and get those ready. I am still going to put a tomato ketchup glaze across the top of the meatloaf once it's done. And then I'm going to add my cheese. Now pay attention here. You got to be really careful when you're picking cheese. Now normally I'm a mozzarella guy because it's one of the healthiest cheeses that you can actually consume because it has a lower fat content, okay? And a lower mold content. So sharp cheddar cheese is actually a really good option, but you want to be careful with the amount. Cheese is one of those things that's moderation. It's all about portions. So these are actually 45 calories per slice, and I'm going to put literally 1 slice on each piece to cover, and I'll show you in the next video that's going to be following this one so you can see the preparation, how it gets put together. All right, so if you guys ever have any questions about any of these videos or these recipes, feel free to, message me. I'm happy to help. My goal, is just to help anybody and everybody get healthy. All right, so this is what we're doing. It's really not that hard once you really start thinking about it. So, but again, I'm here if you have any questions. So I'm going to get to town on beating down these potatoes. That's right, I said potatoes. And then I'll come back and show you how to build this puppy. Stay tuned.